that creeped me out.
Um,
People came out the walls, bro. I was facing my fears, bro.
we would we would discover that Dorothy and Toto are now in Munchkin Land. She's sitting in this playground sandbox, and she's surrounded by the Munchkins. This set was the New York State Pavilion for the '64 World's Fair. Uh, and the first thing they tell her is, "You a killer, baby. You are a killer. You killed Evermean.
Yeah, the wicked witch, the wicked
What
witch
you
of the
get
east.
the easy? I'm not a killer. You never killed time. You know, you never killed. It was just funny, man. It was a nice run, and they're talking about her why am I saying unaliving? Her killing. Her killing.
Looking at too much social media, man.
her killing Evermean released them from a curse because they were supposedly doing some graffiti, and Evermean just came out and turned them into graffiti. They've been there, so they've been stuck there for a while. And then Miss One appears. Miss One seems to be a master of numbers. Now, back then, I didn't know because I was young, but now I realize she was a numbers runner. she was. It was.
She was a bookie.
She was a bookie. She was a street bookie. I was like, oh my God. Because she said, I got a special play. I knew it as an adult. Not like I just discovered it, but I never forgot when I realized. I said, is she a bookie? Oh my God.
I've only seen this movie as a child.
Oh, wow. Never seen it as an adult? Really?
No, this is my first time watching it as an adult.
Oh my God. So they said, Dorothy just wants to know what the hell. He said, I don't want Dorothy. He said, baby, you need to put these shoes on. She takes her shoes and puts them on Dorothy. And Dorothy's attitude is that I don't want no dead woman's shoes on my feet. I don't want this on my feet.
She sure was. She was like, oh, I don't want these shoes.
Says,
so hey, if you want to get home, better wear those shoes.
All right. Got it. And never take them off. That's what she told us. Said, never take them off. So the one suggests, she said, look, I can't do much. I can play your number. I can play your daily double, but I can't do much for you. and my sister Glenda, well, she hard to catch. I just find that kind of messed up. Like, Glenda, you doing a lot, and then you can't nobody catch up with you. But then they said,
if you're a bookie.
No, I'm talking about her sister Glenda, but I'm just saying, who said she's hard to catch. She's good, but she's hard to catch. And you don't want to mess with Eveline is the Wicked Witch of the West. And being that you killed her sister, you really don't want to talk to her right now. So I suggest you go see the Wiz. And then Diana Ross or Dorothy says, the what? The Wiz. What's a Wiz?
Yeah.
Then we cut into the big number.
Is this when she starts singing Home?
No. Sweet
she sang a version of Home, didn't she?
She does after, but it's like right now, it's like she says, who's the Wiz?
You see, for me, those songs, a couple of those songs, like the first few songs, I really wasn't into. It was when the other ones started to hit, like
he's
Home,
the wizard. He's the wizard, bro.
And you can't forget. We'll be coming to it, but old Lena Horne give her number 2.
But he's the wizard. That's a great song. You don't remember that? He's the wizard.
I remember it. It just wasn't.
Oh man, that was a great song right there.
Yeah.
That was a big number. Like they had, you probably CGI them all in today, but there was it looked like they had about 100 dancers out there. And that was a big number. They really went for it in this musical, like the old school musicals and stuff. But again, she suggests you need to go see the Wiz. And they go through the big number, this, that, and the other. And then as soon as she finishes, she says, at the edge of Munchkin Land. And she said, what I got to do? He said, never take off those shoes, follow the yellow brick road, and watch out for those poison poppies. But then she disappeared. And I feel like the way she said, watch those poison poppies, like somebody that's teaching a person to swim at the lake. And as soon as they hit the water, they say, oh yeah, watch out for that alligator. That's the way because that's the way she said it. Like, and watch out for the poison poppies. What?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's how you
no.
do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it in the movie. Yeah, that's right.
Watch out for that dude named Hank with the gun. Wait, Hank?
Yeah,
Who's Hank?
yeah. That's
Oh,
what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
that's not cool. I didn't think that was good. Dorothy approaches the Oz taxi cab and it pulls a off duty. I thought there was a lot of
Yeah,
little
there was a lot of that, bro. I was like,
messages. It's New York. That's the whole thing about the Wiz.
the off
It's
duty. Yeah, he kept. Yeah.
that,
Okay.
that's
I
how they
didn't
did.
even.
I mean, that's
I
how they
didn't.
did
I
back.
never. I never connected. The whole thing with New York. I was actually waiting for something to happen, and at some point, you realize they ain't even worrying about the cabs. They just running away like, I ain't worried about y'all. We gonna ease them
Yeah.
down the road. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. But it was a nice touch, kind of like at that moment in time, cabs always were going off duty. And I think there was a kind of under subconscious message about how black people, like the cabs, really
Off
go
duty
off.
for black folks. Yeah.
Oh, dude, black.
I mean, it
I
is.
think that too. And you did say she sings. She does. I call it the struggle version. She sings home a
Yeah,
couple times.
it wasn't the home.
It was
It
the
was
struggle.
like it was just the home.
It was.
It was
A,
home.
I call it the struggle. It was the
Yeah.
struggle version.
That's a good way to describe the struggle home.
The
Yeah,
struggle
the
home.
struggle home. I go with struggle home.
Then we cut around. She's walking through outside of Munchkin Land, and we see the sun rising over this tenement.
That was a rough area looking, bro. That was a rough area, bro. That whole area, bro. I was like, damn.
Now,
I mean, it was just a building, bro. It was rough though. It was looking rough.
it was. It looked like a war torn area. I can't lie. But in the late '70s, there was some place in New York.
Oh, yeah.
It looked
Yeah, I
just
know.
like that. And this is the first sighting of. And Diana Ross like, Mister, and he runs away with his little puppet. He's holding like what looks like a concession tray, and those two little bouncy puppets at the bottom of it, which we'll
Right.
see later.
That is fear number 2. You talking about the
In the subway,
in the, ooh, that subway. Ooh, that subway was rough. Oh, that subway was rough.
oh my god. We hear some noise and we see some crows, or man crows, or men playing crows. A Michael Jackson in his first movie appearance, his first movie role, he's playing the Scarecrow.
Was that his first movie role?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he sang a song for Ben about a rat, for the movie about rats, but he wasn't in the movie. Like I said, we ran up on a cornfield that's been decimated by man crows and protected by Scarecrow Michael Jackson. The crows keep MJ from reading this and thinking, and we
Clown that
hear
man.
the only song not from the original soundtrack. Quincy Jones was brought in was doing the music, and he was somewhere, and he said, "Okay, so where's the song for Michael?" And they were like, "We don't have a song." Quincy's like, "You got Michael Jackson and no song for him to sing. You got Michael Jackson on in this movie, and you don't have a song just for him to sing."
It's amazing that
And they were like, "No."
it's amazing that at no point in time they thought, "Hey man, should we get him? Should we?"
Like you
That's
got a
fine.
guy who is known for being a singer.
Let's check out his acting chops.
Yeah, dude. And Quincy Jones looked at Charlie Smalls, who wrote the musical. You need to go write a song for this young man. Now, and we got You Can't Win. I think is just a timeless song. It's still what the kids
I didn't
say.
care for it, but I like it. I mean,
Really?
I don't care for the song, but it is a classic. It was never.
It slaps. It's as the kids say, it slapped.
I mean, it's not slapping.
It slapped. It slapped. He sings "You Can't Wait." He is disappointed to find out that all he had to do is step down. I gotta say, this is kind of off subject, but Michael Jackson is really rocking that Reese's peanut butter cup.
I was checking out the whole. Every time I looked, I was like, wow, he really has a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup on his nose, and it's just sitting there, like it's just glued to his nose, just on there.
I was like, just sitting there. It's all this is big.
Every time they had a close up, I just felt myself doing this.
I want a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Like I was looking for people. Like I'm in the room alone. I'm looking for somebody around me to say, hey, y'all don't see this Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup on his nose?
Nah, I gotta say this. After Dorothy she's rescued. He sings "You Can't Win," and then she shoos off the curls.
She sure did. She got him down
again.
She's sick total on him too, bro.
And then she said,
if one of those crows are smart, it'll kick Toto.
It's that easy. But she is sitting there talking to Scarecrow, and she's like, I don't have a brain, this, and he's reading stuff out of his head and stuff. And she says, you know what? And I can't get over this. Being that she's a woman with a college degree, what makes you think that whoever you go and see can give this talking Scarecrow a brain? Honestly, I thought, and she did kind of say it, she said, you know what? I don't know, but we can show you some company. I think she just wanted somebody to go. She was scared. That's all. I think that's all it came down to.
Don't forget, you cannot forget that when Dorothy shooed away the crows, she called them jive turkeys.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. Jive turkey. That was an insult back in the day, fellas. That was an insult, man. You jive turkey.
Hey,
I'm gonna
you know
look
what?
back at that.
You are right. Like, if you was called a jive turkey like in the 70s, dude wanted to put some hands on you, bro.
Hands might have been.
What you call me?
You call me jive turkey? Some hands might be thrown, man.
Let me go to my car.
Now, here's the thing that it didn't really get me, but I was like, Dorothy explaining everything to her. She says, but I have to find the yellow brick road, and I can't seem to find it. And Michael is sitting there
Michael found it. Michael found her like real quick. I was like, you sure you don't have a brain?
No, I want him to say, Dorothy, am I really the stupid one here? Because I see the yellow brick road. You don't see this?
Like, look at that. There's one right there.
And another right there.
Then when you looked up, you like damn, how you missed that?
How did you miss it? And maybe you should get a trip home and some brains while you see the Wiz too.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of concerned.
Yeah.
And they break into the.
That is the.
He's on down the road. He's on down.
That is the star song of the whole movie.
Oh, no doubt. But if you ask people about "You Can't Win," it's 1 and 1A for those two songs, bro. But he's on down the road, and Michael Jackson breaks out and starts dancing.
You know who may not like that song? The person who wrote that article. Actually, I think he gave props to that, but he just shot on the whole movie.
I'm gonna say it like Mabel King used to say on "What's Happening." This is true, my son. This is true.
Hey guys, I think we need to admit that The Wiz is not a good movie. What were you looking for? Were you looking for A Few Good Men? Don't go to the movies and see Wicked in 2025 and then all of a sudden you're like, hey man, I'm telling y'all, they should have done a lot more with The Wiz. You saw what they did with Wicked? Yes. Because they made it a serious movie.
I need to set up a boxing match. We can do a charity boxing match with you and that guy.
Like Martin and
you in this corner supporting The Wiz.
Who's your boy, man? Martin fought first, man, in that the charity boxing match.
Oh, Tyler Harris?
Man, no, before that he fought this dude, and he beat up the dude. The dude was like, "What are you doing? This is for charity." He was like, "What are you doing?" He don't get it. He just don't get it. he was like, bro, why are you beating on me like this? This is for charity. Why are you doing this? You don't get it. You just don't get it.
Oh my god. Like it's the thing is Mike Dorothy and Scarecrow just dance. He's
He was dancing too. The Scarecrow was dancing.
Yes, he was.
He was a dancing machine.
I do not know.
Dance machine.
Yeah.
Watch me get down.
At one point, he had her arm and he went into a roll on the ground and rolled back up. It's amazing watching him dancing. Diana Ross looks like she's standing still next to Michael Jackson. He is enjoying.
Hey, let me tell you something. There's that video of the Jacksons when they're dancing and with Cher.
Oh.
And I still keep looking at that like, that has to be in fast forward. That has to be in fast forward. He cannot be possibly doing that at regular speed, bro. That cannot be him all alone, bro. And every time I look at it, bro, it's the same thing. He is going that fast in a robot. I'm like, somebody's got to tell me that is being sped up.
It's not.
That is incredible, bro.
That is Michael Jackson. That was Michael Jackson. Yeah, that is, yeah. Yeah, he pretty much, yes. Like I said, he was incredible. He was the perfect person for his role, and he was the most perfect person cast for the role.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, the whole cast, maybe not Dorothy, but
come to the Tin Man.
Dorothy and Scarecrow roll up on the Tin Man.
Found under a mammy statue.
I never saw it. It's just a thing.
No. You didn't notice that statue that they rolled off of him.
I did. That was that.
That could have easily been a little miniature statue on Bamboozle. Bruh. It's definitely, if it was a real person, she was definitely into slavery. It was definitely, bruh. That was a mama.
That was what.
Bruh.
Yeah, the metal statue on top of him was his wife or the girl he was with at that time.
Is it? Really?
He kept saying, yes, he said, I was under here. Hello, until my posterior. You know, man, you weren't watching The Wiz.
I was, man. I could. Some of that stuff, I couldn't understand what he was saying right there, man.
Oh.
I couldn't understand everything he was saying, man.
There
were times that I rewound that movie. I had to rewind that movie to understand some of the things. Look, I don't disagree with the fact that the movie with the dude who did the article that the movie was not a great movie. But was it ever?
Hold on. Was it really a bad movie?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a black version of the Wizard of Oz. That's it. Why can't we just be happy that it was that we had some stars out there and they sang "Ease on Down the Road" and "You Can't Win" and my favorite song, which will be coming up at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I guess I think I'm pretty sure much know what that is.
That's my favorite song.
Nipsey Russell. This is the man in which Nipsey Hussle, the late rapper Nipsey Hussle, based his name off.
Right.
Nipsey was an actor, tap dancer. He was back. He kind of did the Chitlin circuit, and he knew Fred Sanford. He knew Red Fox and stuff like that. He was pretty well known for being on this thing. It was a show called a daytime game show called Match Game that your great grandmother used to watch all the time, and that meant I watched it too because there wasn't but one TV. And Nipsey was the one black person they always. And when they left, when they were leaving, they said, "Nipsey, leave us with a rhyme." And he would tell a rhyme. I swear he would. I was in Kokomo. but my name is Valley Joe. It was always just
Not
something.
Valley Joe.
I'm making it up. But he would always just kind of have a rhyme. It's like, "Listen, won't you leave us with a rhyme?" And it was so, the white host, Gene Rayburn, was so happy to just like, leave me with a rhyme. And he put in that work, man. That's why I was happy to see him get this role. Because he was trying to be, his whole thing was he was going to be the last dude at Match Game who always told a rhyme. It's like.
Well, in this movie, he got a chance to.
He did it all.
Yep.
He got
a chance to be the Tin Man and got a chance to get some oil.
We learned, like I say, it was Teeny or the Mammy, as you say, was atop him, and we get to hear him say, what could I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could feel.
If I didn't care.
He did. That's kind of he kind of was in that tone, bro. He was kind of in that tone.
Didn't care.
And Dorothy was like, "Well, what's the matter with you? Everything's great with me, but I don't have a heart." And Miss, I can't find the yellow brick road that's right to my left. Gets the idea. Hey,
Why don't you come on with us? We going to see the eyes. He gonna get me home. He gonna get him a brain.
I bet he can get you some.
Get you some too.
She thinking the whole time, man, this Negro got to act. We gonna need him. We need him around. That's all she was thinking. She didn't care. She's like, we need to keep him around. I think we need to keep him around. He's very happy, but he starts to cry and he rusts. So he sings another song, "Slide Me Some Oil." Now that's a song. It's not something that I need to hear.